tuning in to the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing after-shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Rhythms of the night, all night, oh yeah, the creatures of the night.
Just bringing it back. Hey folks, welcome to the Strain After Show here on AfterBuzz TV. Talking about the Strain, Season 2, Episode 2, by any means. I am Matt Lieberman, and the whole panel is here. Back once again. Oh yes. Oh, you can't stop the disco beat. Jacque Borowski's here.
Holla.
And Stephen Lemieux is here. He's dancing. He's too busy dancing
to say
anything.
to
And Zach Wilson's here.
I'm Zach Wilson.
Yeah. Another killer, dare I say, episode of The Strain.
Great episode.
Lots to discuss, lots to break down. Jacque, we're so happy that you're back.
I'm so happy to be
Yay.
back.
Yeah.
Woo. Family's back.
Yeah. Since you missed out on last week, is there anything that you want to say about the premiere before we get started?
The premiere was amazing.
Yeah.
It was so good. And I was also excited because the Master's backstory happens... I've read all of the books now. I suck and I didn't stop it too because I couldn't.
It's okay.
But the Master's backstory is all throughout the first book. And so all first season I was like, I want the Master's backstory. And I got it.
And you got it.
So I can stop complaining now.
Yeah.
To myself.
What do you think of Zach? New Zach.
New Zach.
So froid.
Show Zach. I want to be
I feel
clear.
like
We're a little lukewarm to foie on New Zach.
Remember in Mad Men when the youngest Mad Men boy was always recast like every season?
He got recast like 3 times.
Yeah, I feel like this might happen with this show because they're trying to find Zach. I mean, Zach is an integral part of the show, so they're trying to find that balance between somebody who's becoming an angsty teenager, but somebody who also is still a kid. And they had the like wide-eyed Zach last season and this season.
For the record, I never had a problem.
No,
with.
I didn't either. I don't get it.
There are a lot of child actors on TV shows that you can have a problem with because child actors are tough to cast.
Mm-hmm.
It's really hard to get someone that you can be reliable with because they're a kid, so inevitably they don't have a track record. But this kid, like this new one, is like the pissy version.
He's so angsty, and it doesn't make any sense because this season doesn't happen that far apart from the last season. It's maybe like a week or something.
Well, seeing his dad shoot his mom, who was, vampirified at the time, is definitely very jarring. And I could say that it's all about the dialogue and that he has to play a lot of those notes this season. But even some of the lines that aren't meant to be pissy come out pissy.
Yeah.
They all
Yeah.
just come out pissy.
Yes.
I mean, Bruce Wayne saw both his parents shot in front of him, and he became Batman.
And he became Batman. Good point.
This guy just has his dad shoot at his vampire mom, and he just becomes pissy. That's not a superpower.
You don't think that Batman was pissy at age 7?
I think
Or
Batman
age
was
12.
a badass at every age.
Okay, that's probably not true. I watch Gotham.
I mean,
That show's
my main issue with this Zach is that like last season Zach was sort of like the nerd,
Yeah.
like nerdy, and this one feels like a bully.
Yeah,
Yeah.
where's
He's
this
like a little bully child.
He
Give
does.
me your lunch money, Dad.
You're not the head of the CDC at all. Don't say that. I mean,
He's
but
not.
No, he can say that. He's not
He's
the head
not.
of the CDC.
But he's got. I mean, the phone was like the main thing of last season. Like they care so much about the phone.
Oh, his connection to his mom.
Yeah,
And,
and-
this Zach doesn't even look like he would know anything about technology.
Yeah, this phone's
Too
stupid.
busy throwing
Ugh.
knives and stuff.
I mean, maybe we're not giving. Maybe in a few more episodes he'll get like some more to do.
Sure.
Like right now, all he's really had to do is like yell at his dad.
Sure.
That's
well, we did posit last week that maybe he's the vessel, and maybe that, like, we hate him, punchable face kind of deal is going to work really well when he's the master of all vampires.
Yeah, and I think that we can say that even more so after this week.
You know what it reminds me
Nah.
of? Oh, sorry.
Oh, I
didn't
was
mean to
saying
cut
I'm
you
not
off.
alone in that thought, right?
Like, just
I feel
because
like
Kelly's
this is
trying
just-
to find him?
Yeah.
Well, she also hasn't fulfilled her vampiric mission, which is when you turn into a vampire, you want to kill and turn the person that you love the very most. So it could also just be that.
I guess I'm latching onto that combined with the fact that Ichorus at the very beginning was talking about like he's got like making it sound like the master has a plan in place, like he's like.
But Ichorst, let's talk about this scene because it seems like to me Ichorst is convinced that he is going to be the next master.
I mean, he did lay down in the box and get all snug and cozy.
Yeah.
I think the master manipulates everyone. You have, what's his face, Stoneheart guy.
Eldridge
Palmer is thinking that the master's going to really help him, but really he only just cured his cancer. And now he's not really anything. Now you have Ichorst who thinks he's going to be the next master's vessel, but why is he going to take an old dude's body? He's going to take a young guy's body, or he's going to take Vasily Fett's body or something.
I don't know. I don't think it's fair.
I do, and I'm not putting any spoilers in there, but I do think that if he needs a new body, he's not going to pick an old person's body.
Yeah, he's not going to take Ichorst.
Yeah, the two people that it seems logical to me the master would go for would be either Zach because of the anything left over from the body that he took over, Yusef's body, where he had a love for kids. So a desire to like take over a young person's body seems to make sense.
Yusef Sardu.
Yeah, or I can see him going after Palmer because Palmer has a position of power right now where he has like the government indebted to him and he's already like owns this vast wealth.
See, to me, that seems like someone that's more of a tool than a person that you want to be.
Because he could just turn him into a thrall and he'd still do that for him.
He stood him up. I mean, you guys have to remember he stood him up in the last episode when they were supposed to meet him in that warehouse or parking garage or whatever it was.
I think it's more likely that he's going to choose either Nuzak or Dutch. Because if you really think about it, like we saw in the scenes for the season that Dutch gets captured by Ichorst.
I didn't see that.
Oh, well, she's her. I mean, it's literally the very first scene you see when they say coming on this season of the Strain.
Didn't see that.
Well, all right. Anyway, so she's in that collar in Ichorst's room. I don't think they'd kill her off that easily. I think it's possible that she's the potential one.
Hasn't she been poisoning her body with alcohol and drugs, though?
She's
Seems
just
like a
been
party
building
girl.
up an immunity, I think.
I would like to see a female master, though.
That would be cool.
I mean, it seems like from what we've seen, not that you can tell the gender of these guys anymore after they come to a certain level.
I don't know. Kelly is still a fox. Let's be very clear.
She's turning heads.
She hasn't lost all her hair. And
I will give you that one. I will give you that one, Steven. That's your one.
Well done, sir.
Way to use up your one pun budget at 8 minutes into the show.
Yes.
Yeah. Before we continue, and
but I was just gonna say I would love to see a female master. The end.
The end. A great idea. But
Would
before
they be called the Mistress?
Yes, I love it.
Except that it's like, well,
I've been trying to kill the master, but she's now a mistress, and I can't hit a lady.
I'm just having
What about
flashbacks
chopping
to
her head
last-
off?
The Master's just going to pull Caitlyn Jenner and be the Mistress. It's going to be great.
Oh, just all the female master talking about having Doctor Who flashbacks.
That's
to last season.
Listen, before we continue, we'd like to thank our sponsor for supporting this show, Mazda. And Mazda has a very important question for you. Does driving matter to you? There's over 4 million miles of road in the U.S. to find out. That's a lot of ground to cover. A lot of highways, freeways, wrong ways, long ways. They're all there, waiting to be driven on. So do you take that left turn at Albuquerque or just keep going? Do you wake up early Saturday morning for a drive before the traffic does? Or do you take the long, winding road home for a change? If driving matters to you, just get out and drive. Why? Because driving matters. Mazda. All right.
That was
Yeah.
beautiful.
Thank you.
I teared
It's true poetry.
Your voice is like a chorus of angels
Thanks, baby.
singing
girl.
to me their answer from God, which is no.
What about a chorus of blind children that have been turned into vampires that have risen from the loam and
I think
and
they're
make us-
super cute.
I think they're creepy as hell.
I think
Make a
Sounds.
sound that will haunt my
the
nightmares.
clicking sounds. Yeah.
I love it. They sound like guinea pigs or something.
They do not sound like guinea
enough.
pigs. As someone who has a guinea pig, that does not sound like a guinea pig. They sound like they're all choking on lollipops at the same time.
Do you know what it sounds like to have a child choking on lollipops all the time?
Yes.
That's terrifying. You should help them, not let them just choke.
I didn't say I don't help them, but I know what the sound sounds
I'm just going to say that Kelly Goodweather, Ephraim told her, get out of New York because bad things are happening. Take Zach and get out of New York. That was like the one thing that he really asked her to do last season, and she didn't, and now she is a Strigoi, and now she's after her son. So the one logical way to find somebody you're looking for is to enlist blind children.
Yes.
She's really, really intelligent.
They are the
That's what I do.
bloodhounds of the Strigoi world.
They are.
I bet the one that she killed actually found Zach, but when it brought back the image of Zach, she didn't recognize him, so she broke its neck.
So what we were all asking this question.
I actually really like this this turn for this actress because I felt like Kelly in season 1 at the beginning was so boring, and now she's
Shout out
she's
to Natalie
cool.
Brown.
I recall some of the people at this table finding her to be a villain of this show.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super annoying.
Yeah. So,
But not more annoying than Stepdad.
Well, he's dead.
Matt is dead.
Yeah.
And
So
Kelly is
why
cool.
did she break the neck of this child? That was a question we all had when we were watching the episode.
It's a question I ask myself every day.
Sure.
I mean, the only thing that I can think is that it was inferior in one way or another. I don't have anything to go on as to why, but like I guess it's like that kid was just not as good. Oh, maybe it's
Maybe they
they
just
made
didn't
a
have the
point.
information.
Well, no, they made a point to ask, or Icor's asked when they arrived. All these children are blind from birth. I wonder if that makes a difference. And like that was one of the kids who was blinded after birth.
Very interesting, because if they were blind from birth, then they definitely have amplified hearing and touch. Versus if you were blinded after birth, it's not going to be anywhere near as strong as someone who's never had sight.
I like that idea, but I think because there's only like 5 or 6 of them, and there was a lot more kids on
There
the
were like
bus.
20.
Yeah, but
I
she could
think
have
they've already-
reserves in the dirt pile back underground.
Yeah, I know they do stay nice and cool and safe down there. I think it was just they're there to help her with a purpose. And if they don't live up to that purpose, they're expendable. And I think that one just didn't find information because she was going up to each one and withdrawing everything they've seen and taking all the information they've gathered. She took that information, obviously didn't like it, and then broke its neck. She didn't break its neck before taking the information.
This is the SEAL
didn't get
Team
any
6.
of that.
It's the elite
yeah.
squad. I mean, that's how I saw it.
I didn't get any impression that they had left that room since she had first met them.
Yeah.
Because this show is hyper serialized. It's not like a day has passed.
Yeah, I thought that was like right after, like right where we left off. And I also don't think that you're going to need to be next to one of them to share information. We know that the
they
master
need to
can
know
sense
where
them
they're
wherever.
at, though.
Is that how it works?
Didn't we establish that in this episode?
They did, yeah. So the Strigoi that Dr. Goodweather and Nora are experimenting on, they don't know where they are, so the master can't find them.
But the master can still speak through them and see through them.
No, he can't see.
No, he can.
He can see, but
That's
he
what
doesn't
I
know
thought.
where he is.
Yeah, he doesn't. Basically, what he's worried about is the master's going to take their vision, look around, and know where they are. But because in their memories they don't know where they are, that he can still take their vision and look around, but he's not going to know where they are because they don't have that knowledge.
Got it. Okay. Let's talk about our flashbacks this week.
I love them.
This was a great flashback. And I feel like I like all the Strain flashbacks, but this one I think is one of the best ones. I like this era in Satrakian's life. We learned that he wasn't always a pawnbroker or a vampire hunter. At one point he was a professor. Wife's still alive, so it's before some of the other ones that we saw.
Before she had that jarring experience.
You already used your one.
Well, I'm
Now you're in pun debt.
I'm racking them up.
Pundit.
Pun debt.
I like that we have him run through the train station that they set up the whole sting in last season. Right? Isn't that the same place?
What are you talking about?
Remember when they were trying to capture Icorst in season 1? And they set up this whole sting in the train station, and then he's chasing this guy down, and they run through that building.
I thought that was a hotel.
Oh, I thought it was the train station. I'm sorry.
Well, because when he's chasing that guy, he's in Austria versus...
Oh, you're right. Oh, man.
They're probably using the same set pieces.
Okay, because it looked so familiar. I was like, oh, I thought
They
we've
are.
been here before.
I would bet money that they're using the same set pieces. It's just that they're saying that this is Austria.
Yeah. But we get a new piece of information this week, which is that Eldritch Palmer was seeking out the Master from a very young age and came to Dr. Satrakian when he was working in Vienna, and that's how we find out how he got the sword cane, and we learn that he's been looking for the Oxida Lumen ever since that time.
Those contacts always throw me off whenever I see somebody with colored eye contacts. Like, when you look into the eyes of young Palmer, it just having those contacts themselves just make you look him in the eye and be like, something's off with this person.
Really?
It's really interesting.
I didn't get that at all.
I didn't notice
Really?
it.
You couldn't notice?
Not at all. No.
That's what made him creepy to me, is that he always had his eyes wide open, and it was like a very artificial color, and I was like, this guy's creepy.
For me, it was his tone of voice.
Yeah,
I
it
do
was
like.
just- yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, Jake.
I do like the casting, though. I think that I said this last season where I think young Satrakian, Jim Watson, does a great job like morphing into Satrakian, and I think this guy did a great job as young Palmer.
I also love the scene where he reveals himself to this former Nazi doctor, and this chase sequence. It was just a really fun 60s era ride.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dr. Drevenhaben.
Plus, I mean, you got a professor who studies like supernatural stuff, chasing a Nazi through the streets. Some nice Indiana Jones.
I was thinking that, yeah.
yeah, and also I coursed in a leather jacket. What's not to love?
Yes.
Yeah, and the great mirror effect behind him. I thought that was all terrific. I want to talk about Eldritch Palmer for a moment, because Jackie, I don't know if you meant to reveal this or if it was just something that I connected or what, but you said something in the trailer when we were watching, and it made me realize something that I think is going to be very important. Okay? So right now, Nora and F are trying to create a virus that's going to wipe out just the vampires and not humans.
So it's the end of World War Z, basically.
Basically.
Yeah.
So, thank you for spoiling World War Z for people like
He
me
did
who
it
have
last
never
se-
seen
The
He
it.
did it
movie
in the
was
last episode.
spoiled
Yeah,
by just being made.
that's okay. That's one person.
Brad
You were
Pitt,
here in the last
no.
All right,
episode.
that's
You
true. He
spoiled
did do it in
then.
the last episode.
We're here to
So,
talk about the strain.
Palmer is not a Strigoi. He's not a Strigoi.
No, he's
he
not.
is a human who has vampire blood and human blood
But he
in his
has-
veins at the same time, and no worms, and is the one person on the planet who can say that is so.
I think it's really important for the mythology to. I always walk that fine line between feeling like I'm going to give spoilers to a show that's close to the books and wanting to like confirm mythology, but I'm pretty sure that the Master is the only one who can do that. So the Master is the only one who has that ability to say, "Here, have some of my blood,
Blood, but no worms.
but no worms."
I don't think it's still running through his veins.
The blood?
Yeah, I don't think, because even when Ikirst is with Eldritch in last episode when they meet, you think you're partners, you think you're part of us. I think Eldritch is 100% just human. I think the blood repairs whatever damage is done, and then it's gone. He was handicapped, his legs didn't work and things like that. He obviously had to have had the blood before to fix that.
No,
and then
he had the blood once. He got it once, and it fixed it, and it remains fixed because he's still got the blood in him.
No.
Yeah,
I'm saying he got the blood,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
And when we first met him, he could walk, right?
No, he could never walk,
No, he was
and that
bedridden.
and the flashback confirms it. He was in a wheelchair as far back as the 60s.
Okay, so he wasn't in the wheelchair, then he got back up, and then he was back in the wheelchair because of the cancer. He's always been in it.
He's
don't
always
think-
been in a
Yeah,
wheelchair.
no.
Okay,
He's
got it.
always been in a wheelchair.
what I misunderstood.
That's what one thing that I'm like, am I crazy? How is it that this guy, very famous, prominent guy, philanthropist, industrialist, has never walked once in his life, and right now he's walking and nobody notices and nobody thinks that's weird.
I mean, I guess there's like a lot of other stuff going on.
Like unexplained murders and
maybe he's
creatures
just
in the
maybe
street.
he's just kept out of the public eye enough that it's like not a big deal.
Maybe TMZ's already been infected,
Sure.
so they're not paying attention to rich people standing up.
Sure.
Because that's pretty much all they report on nowadays.
No, you're
but,
right.
But I don't. But I think I think Matt, you're onto something there because he absolutely could, even if he's not a vampire and like there's not worms going in the system or anything. There's no like any blood transfusion like that you're going to do is going to leave its mark behind. Whether it's just antibodies or I mean this is supernatural stuff, so it could be anything. But whatever it is could be easily left behind just in his system that his just body learns and keeps around. So any virus they cook up could take him down.
I'm still thinking that he's basically the one with all the food distribution. So I think if they're going to put the virus in anything, they're going to have to use him and use his distribution of supplies to the masses to deliver that antivirus.
But vampires don't eat food.
I know. The virus is not meant for vampires. The virus is meant for humans. So they get...
No, the virus is meant for vampires.
Yeah, it's meant for the vampires to infect each other.
Oh, is that what's going on?
Yeah.
I thought the virus was, I mean, the way that, as much as the end of this episode to me was just like science, science, science. I'm hitting your face with science.
It's like, take it. Take my
that
science.
science.
Take the
The
science.
amino acids science each other.
Yeah. As long as the science is consensual, then the amino acids will spawn a protein.
No.
And that protein will grow into another amino acid, but if they don't take care of it, it's going to be a real dick.
Then
Matt.
the zygotes
Yes.
will.
It's like, oh my god. No, because remember they say something like, well, how about the plague, blah, blah, blah. And she says a human still has to survive this. So
Going along
No,
with
because they
what's
want to
the-
release it into the air. It has to be something that kills only vampires and not humans.
Okay, because I was thinking that if vampires try to infect a human, if the human's exposed to it, the worms won't be able to infect the human.
They said that they couldn't make that would be a vaccine, and they specifically said that they can't make a vaccine. They just want something that won't harm humans.
But will kill vampires.
But will
Yeah.
kill vampires.
But then even then, they'd want to expose it into the food. So then if any vampires bite those people, they get infected.
I guess it depends on how it transitions. I guess this is a fair question though, because how are the Strigoi going to infect each other? They're not biting each other.
Yeah.
So unless
I mean,
it doesn't. They didn't seem to imply that it's airborne.
I think they're just trying to
yeah.
make it so Strigoi, anyone they newly infect will die.
I feel like they have yet to devise a method of delivery for this virus. Right now, they're just trying to find something that works, and then they're going to figure out the best way to do it. I feel like airborne is the best way, airborne and skin-to-skin contact, because they all sleep in piles.
You know what look how they delivered it in this. They fed them blood, right?
Yeah.
They fed them infected blood.
Zach, what about apples that don't have seeds?
Well, no, they fed them they fed them their own blood to pacify them, and then they injected them with it.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. That's
Yeah.
what it was.
Guys.
Well, it's fair. There was a lot going on in this.
A lot
Science.
going on.
Is every episode going to be over an hour?
I don't know. They could have the pimp Kurt Sutter slot.
I know. FX usually just lets people just do what they want with that slot and go
There ain't
for it.
nothing wrong with it. Yeah, I appreciate the extra bits because then we get more vampy goodness. Can I also? I might say it every week this season, but I don't mind. F is so much more interesting when
hair.
he is drinking.
Oh.
When he is drinking is much more interesting. Season 1 F, we would never have gotten anything like the scene where he's tossing petri dishes at the trash can. I thought that was so great, revealing, funny, different, not boring.
I love that, like, in season 1, he's not drinking because he wants to get his son back. And now that he has his son back, he's drinking and
can't
completely
stop
ignoring
drinking.
his son.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't care. I got you back now. You can't go anywhere, so I'm going to drink as much as I want.
You dumb son.
I mean, it always concerns me though because alcoholism is a real problem. I don't like it when shows try to show alcoholism as like, now F is a superpower. It's alcoholism. It's just awful.
I feel bad, but it is like a superpower. I like him a lot more.
But
He's more interesting.
Zach with the power of being pissy, and F with the power of being drunk.
He's
The
more
highly
interesting
functional
at
alcoholic.
parties. I mean, he's just better.
I feel
my
like
God.
I feel like though to balance this out, they do have to have one of those moments where he really fucks something up, you know, to
Damn
show
it, we were doing so well.
what.
You just said the F word.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I don't even notice it. I'm sorry. But I feel like they need to show a moment where he really messes things up a bit because otherwise it does. It looks like his superpower is alcoholism.
I think that's what happens to Zach. I think F gets redeemed through losing both Kelly and Zach.
How is that redemption? That's horrible.
it shows that it shows his negligence.
Sometimes a bad guy has to lose both of his family members before he can become a good guy again.
He was a good guy beforehand.
But what I'm saying is I think he's going to have a chance to shoot Kelly, and because he's drunk, he misses, and she takes Zach away.
Oh,
That's
I
something.
can see that. Yeah, I mean, it's gonna come back at him. Like they're not just gonna like let him be a fun alcoholic doctor.
Right.
I like my alcoholic dad.
Yeah.
Clearly he doesn't.
We still have some Palmer stuff that I want to address.
Maybe Zach should drink.
Coco Marchand.
Fine.
Coco Marchand.
Coco Marchand.
Coco
Spe-
Morfine.
Ooh, yeah. Speechwriter. Written all the way to my heart.
I could see her
Meow.
as a companion in Doctor Who. She's got
I
that
totally
look.
could. She's got the look.
The look.
Maybe it's Maillet.
So I figured out about her. Maybe it's. Oh, I hate you so much.
Go ahead.
I figured out why Eldritch got her is because as he becomes less and less human in what he's doing, he needs somebody who loves this city and wants to save it to write his speeches for him. Because he's not capable of writing a speech for humanity because he's lost so much of his own.
and it
maybe-
was a great speech.
Yeah, or maybe he just wasn't ever that caring. He's just kind of a dick.
He's also always had a manservant, and now his
Is Fitz
manservant
gone?
is dead. Mr. Fitzwilliam?
Yeah.
Yes.
He is dead.
Yes.
Yeah. I think though Palmer just knows who to employ. I mean, you don't build an empire and you know do all the things that he's done without saying, okay, I'm going to find all the right people in all the right places to put with me. So there's got to be something with this girl who's not a character in the book. There's got to be something with her that he sees in her. I think beyond just speech
Beyond
writing.
just himself.
Beyond just speech writing and not having to do with wanting to bone her.
I heard what
But I do
Steve
have.
said.
I want to. This isn't even like really a joke. Do you think that he had the ability to have sex before?
No.
Because if he didn't, now this is the first pretty girl he's coming across, really. I hate myself for that. I didn't even mean
You
to.
are so
I
obsessed
didn't-
with
I
this.
didn't mean
Finish
to.
your point so we can move on.
This is the first girl he's come across since he's actually gained legs. Like, since he can actually move around.
You just
So,
want to see her in the pool with him. Is that what you want to see?
I mean, I do, but
You wanna
that's
see
not
some hot
the only
Palmer
reason I'm
action?
saying that. I'm saying that this
I want
might
to see
be.
some hot Palmer on Palmer action.
I'm saying that this might be a weakness.
Palm on Palmer?
Yeah. No, not Palm on Palmer.
I'm saying that, guys, I'm saying that this might not be all manipulation. This might be him actually revealing a weakness that he didn't have before because he didn't have access to those parts.
Horniness.
Yeah. Horniness has brought many a man down to his knees.
Okay.
Literally.
So
and actually.
Satrakian ambushes Palmer at his freedom center rally, which he's making people give out their blood type. Obviously, this is all connected to the massive farming of people for their blood. Like, they're gonna come, they're gonna get the food, they're gonna put down all their personal information and their blood type, they're gonna organize all the people by blood type, they're gonna house them in big people farms, and they're gonna drain them forever like the Matrix, except instead of batteries, we're blood.
Hey, man,
Okay.
Costco's already a big people farm, so...
Jackie, just so that everyone knows, Jackie didn't say a word, and she picked up her glass, and she took a drink, and she looked off in a direction, and that means that I'm probably right.
I mean,
You
that's
guys,
a pretty old
you
trope,
really
though.
no, but you can. I mean, you really can't make inferences by what I'm doing.
Okay.
That was thirsty.
But that's a pretty basic trope. I mean, look at Blade. I think that happened in Blade.
They wanted it to.
Where they just took people, hung them upside down. They had blood bags.
Well,
running
but that
out
was
of
on a small scale.
them. Yeah.
you do
I
have
mean,
to figure
Blade-
though that if you're writing people's blood types down, that it's going to have something to do with the vampire or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, similar, like Abelingham Vampire Hunter. At least the book did. I can't remember. I blocked out the movie.
I did not see the movie.
But I mean, it also has references to the Holocaust there too. I mean, they're documenting
Registration.
people.
They
They're
are
documenting people, and
registering
they're going to
people.
start
And
segmenting people.
They said the master was the new Führer.
Yeah, I mean, this is all tying together to take these people, and we're going to end up with lots of humans separated from other people. And I think that's what the CDC guy is going to do with the military, is we're going to get these people quarantined in different zones, and then the fun will begin. I don't mean fun in a
Yes.
good way, though.
I mean it in a good way.
I mean those suds, like, that big warehouse that has the drains. Hashtag showers from concentration camps. It's
Why is that a hashtag?
Do not hashtag that.
I didn't mean that
Do
in the
not
way that...
hashtag that. No.
I didn't mean that in that way. I'm sorry.
No more mouth noise from
All right,
you.
first episode they talk about how, okay, we have the drainage pipes. This warehouse...
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
It's for the blood.
I shouldn't have said hashtag. I'm sorry.
No hashtag. So Palmer is ambushed by Satrakian. Satrakian makes a little power play. He does a bluff where he says that he's close to finding the oxydilumin, just to see the look on Palmer's face.
Straight out of the first episode in the season.
Yeah. Fett blows up a stack of toilet paper, and they barely get out with their lives.
That scene was awesome.
It was great. So let's talk, speaking of Fett, of a little Fett-a-tete that happened earlier. Yeah, so Fett and Dutch. Last season we detected a little chemistry between the two of them, and they're starting to kill all the vampires block by block around their compound so that they can start to move their perimeter outwards and build the safe zone. And the first step is to clear out this YMCA community center. And they take silver grenades, which we found in the storage locker last episode, and we clean out this whole room. We get a couple of really great slow-mo decapitations that were real cool. I like how this show isn't resting on its laurels with how to photograph its violence or its grotesqueness. It's always looking for something new and different to keep it visually interesting.
And they
I
use
really appreciate
practicals.
that.
I mean, I'm a huge fan of using practicals.
So's Guillermo.
I know.
Yeah.
That's why we're a match made in heaven. Hey.
Would you go on a date with Guillermo del Toro?
Yeah,
Okay.
I would.
All right, Guillermo, if you're watching, right here.
Pretty sure he's married.
Right here.
Well, you're
If you're not
single
married-
And
yet.
I'm not single.
Right.
I should announce that too.
Just
Right.
do wife swap. Wife swap.
Just right here.
There you go.
So,
And then
The
come on our
chopping
show.
off of heads in the scene then.
yes, was excellent.
How do they not get worms on them?
Yeah.
That
I
is-
actually was thinking that
Yeah.
during this fight.
In
Yeah.
every fight, when he hits them with rebar, how are you not getting worms everywhere?
Not even that. First season, they crawl through a very tight hole, and none of them get worms on
Yeah.
them. In the depths of the
I
sewers.
remember that whole scene.
Stop.
Don't give him that look.
Stop.
That was a scene.
I know.
Hey, Vasily fit through that hole too.
No. All right. So they emerge from this hot encounter, and they're standing by a steaming pool, and he wipes some silver off of her face, and it's not an invasion of her privacy. And then he turns around, and when he turns back around, she is naked in that pool. Snap. That pool has not been cleaned in at least 2 weeks.
They
Okay?
have filters. It's a YMCA. It's automatic.
You need to put fresh chlorine
I'm
in.
so surprised nobody died in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
That is interesting.
I was expecting.
Nobody died in it.
I was expecting a Strigoi to pop out of the water. I
Yeah.
don't know that they can swim or not.
Yeah.
But I was waiting for
I thought
Jaws
something bad was
moment.
happening. But the operation ended up as a quick in and out operation.
Instead,
It was a
Fett got
complete
wet.
success. He did, as did she. But here's something that surprised me. Last season, when we met Dutch, she had a girlfriend. Now, I guess she's bisexual, but I would have expected them to address that in dialogue.
They did kind of last season.
Did they?
Remember the drug dealer, the guy who was always after her?
I do remember. I can't remember the specifics of it, but I
Yeah,
do
they-
remember that her character was bisexual.
Got it.
They don't, I mean, when you think about a character like Piper on Orange is the New Black, she doesn't even, you just know that she has a fiance and she was in love with Alex, who's a woman. So they don't really address that in her character either. They don't give her a label, and I don't
Just
think-
like in real life, you don't walk up to somebody just to have the dialogue, so you're gay, right? You're
Well, no.
bisexual, right?
I feel like Fett, who was a little bit nervous about this, it seemed like he hadn't been involved with someone in a while, that he, being polite and being cautious and nervous, would have asked something. I don't think that I'm necessarily in the wrong for thinking that, but you're right. There's no reason to bring it up. It just is. And they're in a
swim.
situation. She's attracted to him.
And
there we
he's
go.
like, I'm not going to question it. Like, she wants me to get naked
But
and
he
get in this
can't
pool. I'm going to
swim.
get naked and get in this pool.
I appreciate that there is more Fett nudity than there is Dutch nudity, even though side boob game be strong.
Side boob game be very strong. Back
very
tattoo
strong.
game be very strong.
Be very strong. But we get a full body, and for a second I thought we saw hanging brain between legs, but then I remembered this is FX. We show man butts, not their dicks.
Well, he couldn't swim, but he was like horizontal and still floating, so you never know if he was balancing on something.
That's true.
They were only in the 4-foot deep end. What?
I thought that was a pun of some sort.
No.
Okay, it's just a genuine
But
sentence out of my mouth.
can we just, for the record, no protection, just
it's the end
It's
of the
the
world,
end of the
man.
world.
just dropping loads. I'm
Hey,
sorry.
they've been dodging little worms that get inside people's bodies.
All
thus
right.
far.
I mean, the chlorine takes care of it, right? That's
Yeah,
science.
No, that is bad
No,
science.
not-
don't
do
listen to
not
that.
listen
That
to
is
that.
not a thing.
Do not do it, okay? It's not going to help. Don't think that is not gospel.
It's a terrible joke. Don't listen to me.
Yeah.
I mean, strigoi are nothing but just something that gets inside of you and then starts growing and changing your insides.
Sure.
So,
Did you just compare that to?
Pregnancy.
childbirth and pregnancy
Yeah,
are
the
strigoi.
miracle of life and the miracle of afterlife.
iTunes
umbilical
people, you
cord is
can't see
just
my
their
face,
stinger.
but it's a face.
It's a face.
That's one hell of a face.
a face right there. Real quick, before we move on,
iTunes?
I just want to really quickly mention our good friends, iTunes, because the best way to support this show and every show at AfterBuzz TV is to go to iTunes, rate and review the show the shows that you listen to or that you watch on YouTube. It is quick. It is easy. It is far drier than our table right now that Stephen dumped his water everywhere, and now he's painting a fun picture with it. Gross. So go to iTunes, rate and review the show. It's quick, it's easy. It helps us all out here at AfterBuzz TV. And you also get a great shout out here on the show. I'm going to pull that up in a second.
Destiny Morna said, "I'm so glad that you guys are back."
Oh,
And
Steve memorized them.
I know, because I
Good
care about our
job.
fans.
You do.
One of us does. She said, "I'm so glad you guys are back. I'm stalking Zach on Killjoy's Helix and the Strain, and I've been waiting so long for the Strain to get back for my favorite
You're
AfterBuzz
stalking
group."
Zach. You should watch Dominion
Thanks,
after
Destiny
this.
Morna. Yeah, Jackie and
There
I'll
you
be talking
go.
to Minion in like half an hour.
But yeah,
or whatever.
shout out to you.
And
Shout
thank
out
you to
to
all
you.
you guys in the chat roll too. I see you, Silver Candy 79, Ghost 8386, Danielle Bye Bye.
Bye-bye.
Danielle
no,
Bye-Bye.
it's like a name. I just
Danielle
I'm
Bye-Bye.
hoping it-
Bye-bye.
D Bear, all you guys. If I missed anybody,
like
thank you
a
for
nice
joining
D
us
Bear.
in the
Yes,
chat
thank
roll.
you for watching live.
Yeah. So we only have a few minutes left. Is there anything else that you guys want to talk about in particular?
I do want to talk about how Satrakian believes in a higher being, Palmer doesn't. And Palmer was
Oh,
saying
it's the best
how,
line in the
yeah,
episode.
Palmer was saying how, I prayed to God and he didn't answer. And then Satrakian says he did answer, but the answer was no.
And we were like, sick burn!
Yeah.
The best. He
Yeah.
burned him worse than he burned the master.
Well, we know
Oh.
though that Palmer was getting Satrakian to look for the Locket of Lumen, look for the cane. What other artifacts he was asking him to look for, we don't know. But he basically now Satrakian feels like he set up his enemy.
Satrakian's basically like the Laura Croft of the Strigoi world.
Yes.
Yes.
Like he's just looking for artifacts.
You want to see him in short shorts? Is that what you're asking?
Jim
Yeah.
Watson in short shorts, I have to imagine, is a sight to be beheld.
Tweet us, Jim.
Yes, Jim.
I also want to talk about
Hashtag Jim in short shorts.
The end
That's
of-
a hashtag.
That's a hashtag.
the end of Annoying Zach was when he wipes off all dramatically infected.
Yeah.
They're not infected. She's my mom.
Oh, I didn't have anything.
Oh, I think it's what he said.
I mean, yeah, the Zach was kind of a like again, he's being pissy. He's like, I'm gonna erase this one word off
Yeah,
of your
yeah,
chart. Not that it will make any difference to
Anything.
Anything. What's
They're gonna get it wrong because I erased infected. They won't know they're infected. I think he's gonna set them free. I think he's gonna set the old couple free.
Let's do predictions and predictions, which will start right now.
And now,
Thank you.
your AfterBuzz TV.
Are we missing any storylines? I mean, it was a fairly straightforward episode.
We did miss that scene where the councilwoman storms off and
I love
tells them
her.
they're all mentally jerking off.
Yeah, new character. I love her. I love that we're seeing a little bit outside of our core team, and she's awesome. Samantha Mathis is always great.
Well, they're finally calling the assistant to the head of the CDC on his BS, saying there's 10,000 troops. Like, no, I haven't seen any troops anywhere. Where are they?
No, that guy is the head of
He
the
is.
CDC.
No, he
Ephraim's
is.
the head. He's the assistant to the head of the CDC.
God damn it. What other predictions do you have, you jerk?
I predict that we're going to randomly throw books around again and have the perfect piece of paper that we've been looking for all this time conveniently fall out on the floor with a baked.
You mean the 60s era photocopy?
Yeah, 60s era photocopy.
Yay!
And
Ancient photocopy.
bringing back cookies with Satrakian.
Yes.
Oh, I do like milk and cookies with Satrakian.
I don't feel like this Zach is the type of Zach who would have cookies with Satrakian.
No.
He feels like he'd kick Satrakian in the shin and walk away.
Yeah.
What would you say predictions-wise, Jack?
I have none because I read the books. So.
Oh, that's
and this
true.
is very close.
Do
to
you
them.
think they're going to change the storyline from the books?
I now that I've read all the books, I have a hard time seeing how they're going to stretch this out to be
5
seasons. So I do think that they'll probably have to either like add stuff in the middle or at the end or something. And they have characters that don't exist, like the French woman doesn't exist in the books, and neither does Dutch. So there are a couple of wild cards there.
One thing we didn't mention, Bolivar was back this episode.
Oh, yeah, out of nowhere. He's still
And he
alive.
can talk.
He can talk like...
And his face is white, but his body is normal colored.
Yeah, makeup. Makeup.
Yeah,
Micah.
He's
Micah.
Micah.
still got the showmanship
Sure.
that he had in life.
Zach, any predictions?
I think Kelly is going to come for Zach very soon, and I think he's going to leave of his own free will. Like, because she can, like, sort of talk now.
Yeah.
I think she's going to talk to him, and he's going to leave.
Yeah, because he's an idiot.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think
think
he's going to
Zach-
become the master.
I think Zach's going to be found by the younglings.
Yeah. The younglings. What is this, Star
How
Wars?
We're calling them.
The
Star
Triple
Wars
Squad.
Episode 3. The Feelers.
The feelers.
Yeah.
They're so cute.
Right in the feels.
All right. Prediction time. I agree with Zach. Zach is going to leave of his own free will with Kelly like an idiot. And then the feelers are going to grab him. Then he's going to panic. But it's too late. He's already gone. He's going to be the new master. I don't know when it's going to happen, but it'll probably be this season.
Yeah, I wouldn't even put that past, like, episode 6, probably.
Yeah.
I think it's mid-season.
Yeah. Dutch and Fett, Bone Zone, getting it. Great. Super. Loving it. Awesome.
I
Great.
think-
Getting it.
Dutch's character doesn't have much more forward to go now that we've already kind of reached the climax pun with Vasily. I think she gets taken next episode.
That's possible.
I think she gets taken when they go out to find Zach, and then that's what's going to make Ephraim shave his head because it's on.
Okay, that's a prediction.
It's on like Donkey Kong.
All right.
I mean, losing her would make Vasily go nuts.
Ape
which would be
shit.
fun to watch.
Yes, I love that. All right, guys, that's going to be the show for this week. I hope that you enjoyed it. Please let us know down in the comments if you're on YouTube what you thought, or in the ratings and reviews section on iTunes. Jacque Borowski, where can the people find you?
123jackieb.com. That's where all my Instagram, Twitter, everything is. I have a website.
What?
That's insane. You can count.
I can count.
All right, Stephen.
You sound so unenthusiastic.
All
You can
right,
find me on
Steven.
Twitter at Stephen Lemieux, StephenLemieux, as well as doing the Killjoys after show
Yeah.
On
That
Sundays.
is the name of the show.
on Sundays, and then also doing Graceland on Thursdays, and coming up in August, Fear the Walking Dead on
Ooh,
Sundays.
fun
Should be a fun
times.
show.
You guys can follow me on Twitter at that Zach Wilson, ThatZachWilson on Twitter, Instagram, all those places. And also tonight with
Dominion,
Jackie
right after
Borowski, we're
this.
going to be talking some angels and fighting on Dominion, and Killjoys with Stephen Lemieux. And
Hey, that show's really good.
more stuff in the fall.
I feel like Angels and Fighting is a much better name for Dominion.
Yeah, it is.
Angels
I
and
like
Fighting. You can find me, Matt Lieberman, on SourceFed and SourceFed Nerd on YouTube and Facebook. You find me on Twitter at Matt Lieberman, MattLieberman, and at youtube.com/Matt Lieberman. Videos 5 days a week. I hope that you enjoyed this episode, and we will see you next week. Goodbye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.